So, I have this idea, and it's hard to articulate, but it's a very simple idea. And what makes it epic is the scale. So the idea is, I built a mechanical sustainer to excite or drive a guitar string. Now, there is a huge amount of DIY sustainer content on the internet as well as YouTube. I have watched hundreds of hours of DIY sustainer videos, and they're all great. A lot of great prototypes, a lot of great ideas, but I thought instead of using those, what I would consider traditional ways of exciting a string, why don't we just use something mechanical? Something that doesn't involve circuitry. So I developed this. It's essentially a tiny little motor with a piece of plastic and some magnets. And I can control this with this box. And I can control the speed of the motor to excite the string. So you could probably hear that right now. There's some really beautiful harmonics that are happening when I excite the string. So remember, the idea of a sustained string is bypassing the attack. We don't want that pick attack, right? We just want it to vibrate. And we don't want it to be a sustain like a bow on a violin string where you have that rubbing, or like a hurdy-gurdy. We want the string just to oscillate. And for that matter, if you think about a guitar string like the oscillator of a synthesizer, there's no difference. Literally no difference between an oscillator of a synth and a string oscillating. And once we have that oscillation happening, we can do all sorts of interesting modulation and effects to that string. For the Great Guitar Build Freestyle, I think I'm going to enter in about maybe a 2 or 3 octave instrument. So what I'm thinking of is choosing a scale, something like D Lydian, having those notes, and then building an octave of those notes, and then maybe a 3rd octave, just for the freestyle. And that gives me a working instrument that allows me to play, meaning I have some low strings, possibly some bass strings to build chords. So if you can imagine a chord, right? I'd be sustaining a particular note, taking whatever, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, in that scale to build a chord. And then I can switch chords just by turning these oscillators on and off. A part of this is going to be a mixer. So I'll have a mixer where I'll be able to mix all these oscillations. So if you can imagine all these strings vibrating at the same time, but you're not hearing them all vibrate, you're only hearing the ones that I'm allowing to come through in the mixer. This is my kind of crazy idea. Like I said, it's hard to explain, hard to imagine, but this is what I'm going to do. And this is the prototype. It's very crude, but once I have finalized this particular prototype design, then I can get wood and throw it on the CNC to automate all the route processes for the pickup and for the motor. And then I have to build 3 octaves worth of these oscillator machines. These little boxes are just basically a pot and a switch in a little case. Try to find a solution for all this material to bring it down in price so that I can have it ready by the deadline of the Great Guitar Build Freestyle. All of this is basically me having this vision of an instrument that I can play where all the strings are oscillating at the same time. Think of it like a piano, right? You have multiple strings that you excite with a hammer, but these are already being excited, and they're all being excited at the same time, and only letting what I want through with a mixer. So I can actually play a lead using switches, buttons, knobs, whatever I decide. I know. But let's go ahead and pause here and take a look at the sustainer that I built. To build my mechanical sustainer, I just picked up one of these kits you can get on Amazon, and it comes with like a whole bunch of different styles of battery-powered motors. So you can actually mount these in a variety of different orientations. And it also came with all these cool little things. I don't know what they are. Gears and doodads and whatnots. And I saw that there was this one here, a couple of these in a variety of different colors. There's one in black here. And I'm using the high-powered neodymium magnets. And what I noticed was when I mounted, one of these motors, it worked best with one magnet. So you have this spinning, and every time it would make a revolution, the one powerful neodymium magnet would oscillate the string at whatever that RPM is, or whatever that beat is, right? And you could slow it down and speed it up as necessary. The problem with one magnet, even though that's the best sounding sustainer oscillation excitement, is that it's off balance. So this starts to wobble. So I put another magnet on the other side, and that helped solve the issue of it being off balance, and it spun nicely, but it didn't excite the string in the same way. So I decided then, since that wasn't really working out with just two magnets equidistant from each other, I decided to put 4 magnets. Again, one magnet is best, 2 is not that great, but 4 is a good compromise. So obviously I chose this because it's an easy route to make. If you just have any drill bit, like a Forstner bit, you can actually mount this inside a round route. Here's the design I landed on. These are, I think, 6mm neodymium magnets. And the other thing that I learned when I built a prototype of this is that you can't just glue the magnets on top of your spinning plate, because even if you use super glue, they're going to fly off. Just with that centrifugal force, it's going to fly off, no matter what you do with your super glue. Believe me, and they'll fly off super fast, and they're like bullets. You have to drill a route in order to put the magnets in. That way, when that centrifugal force is happening, it's going outwards, but it has nowhere to go. So this is the only option for doing this. Obviously, you could put a plate on top too, so if you wanted to like hide them, you could do that. So if you wanted to sandwich them like a cookie between two plates, you could do that. That'll work. But this is the method I chose because it's super easy to do. If you haven't seen my video on creating a single string pickup from a relay, I'll go ahead and link to that, but this is the pickup using the exact same neodymium magnet with the relay. And the only thing that I had to do was build a little control box for it. And I don't even know what resistance this pot is. I just had a pot that I grabbed, a switch, and essentially it's got a battery in there already, and I can turn it off and on, and I can control the speed. The problem is, because this motor requires a certain amount of voltage, the pot essentially only has a very small range of motion before it stops being useful. So I'll just kind of show you. Turn this on, and you can see I'm turning. The 9-volt battery in there is probably giving out like 1 volt, 2 volt, whatever, right? And that motor needs more than 2, 3, 4. Maybe when you get halfway, I think that's about probably 4 or 5 volts, maybe even 6 volts. It starts to spin, and I can get it to go nice and slow if I find the sweet spot. You can see right there, moving real slow until it stops. And then I can really crank it until it's full speed. So I can really get some really cool pulses in there by shutting it off and on, or I can get some nice slow speeds if I needed to. There's a lot of really cool things you can do with this little magnet. So I do want some bass strings, I do want some short high strings, I want to experiment with the tonality and all the oscillations that I get from different gauges of string. So I know this is hard to explain with words and hard to imagine, but if you could try to imagine with me 25 of these machines in a row, all spinning at the same time, creating a beautiful melody and chord arrangements because they're all tuned to a particular scale or mode. I will then be able to control the volume up and down of each one of these strings is to bring it in and bring it out. Very similar if you think about a synthesizer pad, where you're just basically holding down the keys of your synth and that beautiful pad is playing. And then you switch chords. I'll be switching chords not with my fingers playing on a fretted instrument, but by bringing the actual volume down or up. So, this is my idea for the freestyle competition of the Great Guitar Build-Off in 2022. I think a mechanical sustainer is a pretty good idea, considering the amount of effort that the internet community has put into trying to build a DIY sustainer. I was able to achieve a minimal viable product with zero effort, just by thinking of something different. Not using the traditional ways of sustaining a string infinitely, but using mechanical ways. This took zero thought and almost zero effort, and I'm able to achieve and excite the string infinitely for as long as I have power. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put 10 minutes of this string oscillating to give you an idea of what one string sounds like with my mechanical sustainer. But I need you to use your imagination to imagine what 26 strings oscillating sound like. Chords coming in and out, a melodic lead line playing. If you can imagine that, then thank you, because it's hard to express it with words. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.